Griggs, you join us? Okay. Priscilla is here. She wouldn't jump on the. Yeah, somebody's there. Making a photo bomb. Yeah, she's investigating. Yeah, went through my stuff, threw all my clothes on the or my towels on the floor, so I have to wash them now. Yeah, they're just going through all my stuff to do spring cleaning. All right, so Greens, this is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Cats are doing spring cleaning. So this is, and she's tearing down the background. Lovely. She hasn't been lucky. She's been trying, but she hasn't been successful recently. You never know. Anyway. So I have Antarctica, Doomsday, Glacier. It's one that's melting. Yeah. Somebody's distracting. It was all quiet until I went live, and now she's just tearing the place apart. Yeah. Some background entertainment. Akhenaten, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Akhenaten, the Egyptian Pharaoh. This is the same Pharaoh that was that made it to one god instead of several. He's the weird looking guy. Oh, I guess she gave up. She's lived to fight another day. Not that, she'll get it down eventually. And Barnard star, Super Earth. So it said it was this is Barnard. I have a channel with Barnard star, but this is Barnard star B. So it's a super Earth that can be inhabitable. It says cold there, but I would say there is. I mean, maybe not in our dimension, but it feels like there is life there somewhere. Meaning, like, let's put it this way, like in another reality, there's definitely a human colony there, you can say. We just can't prove it we have to get our act together. So our world's not going to be plummeted into the apocalypse and all that. Many do hope for that. A lot of wishful thinking there. It's like, no, the world's going to keep on going. Sorry. It's like, sorry to inform you, but the show must go on. They've been saying that for thousands of years. The world's going to come to an end. It's always that energy for that, and it never happens. So it's I don't know if it's funny. It kind of is. It's kind of funny, sort of. So you're on those that actually believe it. So the Doomsday, I didn't know there was a Doomsday. Well, probably did. Just didn't really pay much attention to it. So what's happened to the Doomsday clock? Akhenaten, his energy, and what he has to say. I was going to do Nefertiti also, so I might tap into some of her energy. We'll see, because that was, we'll see. And Barnard Star's energy fuel, and Priscilla is here somewhere. Taking a break, tearing down the background. This is Avatar to Common Private Sessions. We have a scheduler. We have a shop here. Webinar, social network, behind the scenes. Oops. Okay. All right. I wouldn't think any of this Doomsday. Was it a couple, maybe 4 or 5 years ago? It was they literally had like the end of the world day. I forgot what it was, but it's like one of my highest videos. Unless they redid the numbers, I can't remember where. Anyway, yeah, made like nationwide news about that. Anyway, obviously it did not happen. They literally somebody wrote a book about it, and then the day came and nothing happened. So, but as the sea is going to like flood the cities, I mean there will be some of that. Yes, but there's always doomsday scenarios to it. So yeah, I mean, Venice is being flooded, I believe. Venice is kind of sinking. But Venice was never built that well to begin with. So, but anyway, all right, we'll tap into it. Let's see what we got. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Zetas. Greetings. We do not see, yes, a end of the world scenario. There's some humans, yes, that do want it to happen so they don't have to finish out their incarnations here. So as for there is much alien life connected to your Antarctica, the North Pole, South Poles. That's how we replenish our energies. Basically, it's like we connect to your Akashic of your planet. That's one of the places we can do. Basically, is there's less human activity there, so you say we go there to think. But also some of your forests, we can go there also to connect to your Earth and just we go where it's quiet. We go there with our ships and just monitor. As society, yes, is going through its growth. Some are tearing, which is that many humans want things for themselves, but they don't want. Some humans here don't want everyone else to have it good, and that's what's causing a lot of this here. It's not necessarily a government, but it's actually individual humans that feel like others should suffer, and so that's why prosperity isn't always given out to others or everyone, for that matter. That's why your corporations are designed the way they are. But it's also to cut you away from your old timeline to bring you into a new timeline. So there is some benefits to it. So there is benefits basically. So not to say a corporation is there to run your life, but it's basically to kick you out of a timeline into another one. So it's an agreement that you made. You can do it different ways. As for Antarctica itself, you can say Antarctica is waiting for humanity to heal. So the Earth can be remade, as you maybe call it, the new Earth, recycled, but it's nowhere near that. Not until the lessons here are fully healed and learned. Basically, as humanity, become less violent, become more quiet. You can chat, yes, you can chatter, but less violent energies. There's so much violent frequencies here, as some of you can feel, even violent thoughts that have to be healed for this new earth to really engage. The violent thoughts are out of control, as some of you will probably feel that, especially in your work environment. The reason we come through because we are connected to Antarctica. We're connected to also several versions of your human race. Yes, where versions of Earth did lose themselves. But we have our own worlds where, yes, we have our own problems, of course. Some Zetas are from Palladian realities, some are from the feline. Some literally we just removed the feline. Some Zetas removed a lot of the feline appearance and became more human. But there are feline Zetas out there. You just don't see them very often in your images. Some of you might, like a Zeta with feline eyes. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean they have whiskers and all that. Usually they don't. Some might want to grow back their hair, but it looks very strange. but we're bringing the Antarctica frequency. So this is green sea. We have Antarctica frequency consciousness. Basically, all the emotions, all the energies of your earth, yes, goes into the soil of your planet, into the earth. Yes, of course, a volcano is necessary. As for the glaciers, your Mother Earth has a way of queer. It's basically with the glaciers melting. It's kind of like its own. It's like it's another version of a volcano eruption. But there's also a balance, meaning that your world is not going to be all flooded. Some waters, yeah, oceans will rise, yes, slowly. But that also shows your world is ascending, maybe not quickly, but it is kind of speeding things up slightly. But eventually, some of your countries will have to change their environment. Some of your cities that are built right by the coastlines will have to change sometime in the future. Most likely, not in your lifetime. Not to blame the past generations, because there's so much chaotic energy in all generations. Yes, basically humanity doesn't know any better. Some of you are doing the best you can to heal those energies. That's why many of you incarnate here, to kind of give humanity some more time to figure things out. Certain places they need to learn, and some of these cities are where they need to learn. Basically, a lot of your cities will be cleared out and become more higher frequency eventually, but most likely not in your lifetime. Well, there'll be more higher dimensional cities, let's put it that way. They'll still have some kind of structures here because that's what you learned from. It's what brought, it's just part of your DNA at the time, at least for some of you. Some of you need nature and you'll be in nature, but others need the knowledge of your concrete worlds. So, but as for the world imploding or being, no, because some places will be overcome with water. It's inevitable, but not the places that you might think. Greece, I'm an Akhenaten. Greetings. If I was part of your reality, would be more one of the most radical beings. I would change everything. If many are confused with their sexuality, I myself is one of the products, but not to push it on anyone. There's a lot of that happening. But basically, I would change things. Let children be children. And let the people be people, and not focus on so much on everyone else and focus more on themselves. And you can say that will be in order. So there is a bit of a dictatorship energy there, but it's more like just can everyone just chill out for some time. Now, most of you are, others can't do it. Some people here have gone completely insane, as you might have noticed, and they're showing it. Like they've gone so crazy, they can't make a decision, and they're dictating how your reality is being created now. That's why your world is kind of off kilter, or at least your culture is off, because those that are insane are running it. And some people that are insane might look like some of the most professional people you've ever seen. Well, they might look professional, but you see their actions, and it's far from it. And you're seeing that it's just not fully recognized. Sometimes those are the worst crazy people out there. Yes, they get in high positions. You've seen that in ancient Rome. You see that in your modern times. And yes, it's nothing worse than like having a devil in a suit ruining everything. and they are very patient. So those that are ruining your culture currently, that are at a corporate level, realize where they come from. They might come off. Usually, they're not the most creative people. They're just destroyers of your reality. It's for you to become. We're keeping this very cryptic for obvious reasons. So for you to decide. But culture itself is under attack. As some of you have noticed that. Some of your favorites, childhood favorite things are being ruined currently. That's because of the lower dimensions. They know how to rule your planet. It happened to ancient Rome. It's happened in the United States. And it's for you to figure that out, to clear out the voodoo. But that's the lessons that society needs, apparently. As you can see, that's why it's occurring. But some of you are seeing it, but this is not your teachings. It's the teachings for others. It's basically for humanity to realize what kind of world they're really living in. If you need your culture ruined, it'll have to be ruined for you to start waking up. Some of you, there's certain events in your history, the 2020 situation, awakening. Some need their culture ruined for them to start realizing what kind of world they're on before they exit here. They have some idea, because many just living their lives just blasé, just not realizing anything. So you are opening up windows. Of course, many are getting lost within their own belief systems and creating realities. That's nothing new either. Well, if you find a level of comfort in the delusion that you created, and others feel the same delusion, they're not ready to see the world for what it is. They feel like they are, but not really. So some are really literally creating a reality right in front of you. Like I said, we're being cryptic here while going into full details, but you are seeing realities being created in front of you by certain individuals, and there's a bit of a wizardry going on there. Well, they come off as friendly, and they're creating these false realities, and people don't, and that's another awakening. Well, if you're not seeing proof of the reality that they're sharing, I mean, on a spiritual level, it's spirituality. Somebody can create a fake spiritual reality for you, and you can believe it. Now you can remove that and just connect to your own reality, and that's good. It's good to have it's basically like everyone's carrying. Well, there are some that have an agenda, obviously. Well, some people are very lonely, so they create a reality that is spiritually based, but is also false. And others like that reality they created, and they get comfortable with it, and then they get even furtherly lost. So it happens throughout history. Religions are built on it. And it's the lost that create a reality for themselves. It's because to go into your fundamental basics of yourself is not the easiest. Meaning that some create a false reality because it's like a quick fix. They're never going to admit that, though. They're not ready to. But to go in more into your inner self, and you can find out how complicated you really are. It's like how many false realities you created for yourself and other realms. Some worlds are literally created with false realities, but basically you're on a world that's deserted. And come to find out, in your mind, though, there's all kinds of things there, when in truth there's nobody there. But in this world, it's basically for humanity to get more real with itself. Some are, most aren't. Some are letting religion tell them what to do and letting that card take you wherever it wants to. And of course, the cults are doing the same thing. They're not quite ready to trust themselves. And trusting yourself is very difficult. It can be fun after a while, but it can be also be lonely because others aren't seeing what you're seeing. That's why others get so pulled into certain cults, religions, spiritual groups that are completely off kilter. Well, you can connect to a cocaine type of reality and pull others in, and literally get lost there. Meaning it's like a high vibrational reality. It doesn't really exist. So you can create cocaine with your mind. And there's nothing worse than mental cocaine because you don't have to go out and buy it anywhere. You just create another. It's like, wow, that's a neat reality you just created. And then you can get stuck there for a while. So you're seeing how the astral realm really works from a physical point of view. So now when you're a non-physical being, realities are created all the time. It's just in a physical realm, it's belief systems. In astral, you can literally someone creates a reality and you're instantly there if you want to be. Now, do you like it or not? It's another story. But it's a little bit different. It's just that you know what it is. But here in this world, you're creating through the mind. It's just a different because you have a physical realm here, but many are not that interested in it, so they create one astrally, which goes into a religion, a cult, wherever it might be. So, lessons. Brings you, we are the consciousness of Barnard star B. Yes, there is much human life there. We're intrigued by your world of all the complexities it goes through. As we don't have to go through, well, we've learned from your world not to get trapped into nonsense or mental confusion. Doesn't mean that our world is all that advanced, but we are taught to, we see, well, our world has not been hijacked like yours. Why was your world? It's you can say you're one of the reasons your world went to. It's just curiosity. Like someone has to create a hell planet somewhere. But there's also a heaven planet here. There is all different planets here. And yes, there's dark sides to it, but there's also places where you don't have to. It's basically you decide where your world goes. Of course, you're not here to force any reality on anybody. No, but just basically you're here to like make a choice of yourself, your own. Doesn't mean you have the choice to find Jesus. That's up to you. But basically your own inner choice, like what kind of being you want to be, not just in the physical, but what you're going to do in this life, but also the afterlife. Because this life here really sets up your destiny in the next life. Like some of you might become really extremely bitter in this world, and you might have everything going for you, like financially, and you're still kind of bitter, angry for whatever reason, and you can leave this world actually worse. It all depends. Some of you have probably seen it somewhere physically. Like somebody has everything that you would think they would want, and there's such a coat of misery there for their own reasons. So basically, some of them have not. If they might have all the fruits of a physical incarnation, but it's like, who am I? They still haven't quite figured that out yet. So that's why many just choose to incarnate as poor and basically go through the hardships of being poor to eventually, just go to the basics, truly the basics, to find, what really matters, just the small things of life. Yeah, and some people need to have decay, like their teeth decay, their hair, whatever it might be, to really connect to themselves, to really get like bring in that self-love. Sometimes you have to ruin yourself to get there. Some go overboard with it. Where they have to incarnate again. So our world is kind of like not necessarily a vacation planet, but basically kind of like a midway. Like our world is like we evaluate your planet. Basically, no one's out to judge you or attack you or anything like that on our world. You can say that's kind of boring, but you kind of need a midpoint. Like this world is like very hostile. It'd be nice to go somewhere where if you have to incarnate in the physical, where everyone's not tearing each other apart, and just do the basics, and you might not be there very long, but long enough where you just basically have some middle ground in the physical reality. Now, it might not be a physical reality. You can see here on this world. This world is so busy tearing itself apart. Not all of it, but if it starts seeing other planets, it's just going to start tearing them apart too. It's like we don't trust those Jupiter beings over there, or those Saturn beings. We're going to cancel them. There's a lot of that. You can't. If this world can't get along with itself, how's it going to get along with everybody else? So it's slowly. It's going to eventually calm down, but it's not quite there yet. There's some adolescents still haven't been healed yet.